Alright, hey everyone, this is Glower. Today we're going to beat the game as fast as we can using the safe route. It doesn't really matter what you name your file. I just choose that because reasons, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be on YouTube. So the first thing that you should know is you can hold the B button for all text in this game. And it scrolls by frame perfectly. Like, you never have to mash the A button during like any point when there's text. And I guess another thing that's really worthy of a mention is, like, this category, any percent, ever since 2014 when Peach Warp was first discovered, it's been an RNG fest. But recently I made a route that pretty much cuts most of the run-ending RNG out of the final bosses. Because currently, like, if you're going for a world record in PB attempts, if you're good, you have to get like really good RNG to finish. And if that doesn't happen, your run just dies and you lose. So the safe route is like, it gives people the chance to run the game without like having to get really good luck. So that's why I made it. I felt like it's good for the community. Yo, what's up, Hednisk? How you doing? So yeah, if everything goes right, then it's a guarantee that I'll finish this run. And also, it's probably a good thing for like people to have a run with input display, right? Like, this input display is really good, right? So for this part, you want to just mash A, and then when Mario does a squat, you can press the A button, and it cancels the squatting animation. It saves like 10 frames if you do it perfectly every time. And that can be used like every time you do a jump. So that ends up saving time. A lot of time over the course of a run. So yeah, first fight you just like, you jump like 5 times and then he kills you, and then you have to watch like a 2-minute cutscene. 3-minute cutscene, I think, actually. I'm doing good. Alright, so what you mash matters here. You never want to mash the B button. every time there's like you're entering this chapter screen, you want to mash the start button and the A button together, alternating. Because those are the only two buttons that would actually clear that menu. I think after this run completes, I'm not only going to post this video, I'm also going to probably post a highlight of specific parts of the run where I explain stuff. I think that would be probably more helpful than the video itself, actually. But who knows? Hey, what's up, Shaz? You can go for a spin cancel off this ledge. It barely saves any time. It might actually be even with jumping over the table. I'll show off jumping over the table when I come back here. So, like, it's probably not worth going for, but I do it because it's cool. Hey, what's up, Axel? Yeah, I'm recording. Sorry, I ignored you before. So, if you're jumping over the table, just hold upright. I'm pretty good. How are you, Pumpkin? Okay, so, there's a thing called Junior Troop Escape that you can do here, and it saves like a minute, but if you're just like starting out, it's not recommended whatsoever. So we're not going to be doing it today. You want to get 15 coins in the playground. Oh no. Okay, good. Wait, what am I doing? I hammered it 11 times for some reason. Okay, so, now I have 15 coins. So usually, you can pick any of the bushes. I choose the 3 before the hammer because they're pretty quick. They're on the way to the hammer, and then there's a bush with 2 coins. And then of course the 10 coin block because it's quick. You can also grab like coins from the tree on the far left. It's pretty slow to do that, but So by the time I reach the fire flower, I'm going to want 20 coins. There's also something called hammer canceling in this game. I did it just there. If you press B after the hammer touches the ground, so you press B to activate the hammer, and then you press B again right when the hammer touches the ground, you can actually speed up the hammer animation, and so you can move quicker than you normally would be able to. I think it saves like 4 frames. I jumped early so that Goompod jumped towards the gate. If you open the gate too quickly, then Goompod will be further away from the gate, and he would have to walk to the gate and then open it. So it's actually faster to let Goompod jump to the gate, so that he like instantly unlocks it right when you open it up. You want to say no to those, and also, if you're picking up an item or anything like a badge, you can just circulate the joystick, and that will cancel the... It'll cancel it, pretty much. Like, you don't have to mash A or B during that part, you can just rotate the joystick. You want to equip Power Jump before leaving, before hammering this block, because he's going to warn you and waste time if you don't. My movement is very sloppy right now. It's recommended to attack the red Goomba first, because if you accidentally attack blue, there's no penalty. It's really slow. Prologue has a lot of cutscenes for like 20 minutes, so there's not really a whole lot that I can explain. I just kind of have to wait for the opportunity to come later on in the run. Something that I was doing there, you can actually buffer a spin input if you press Z right before the spin animation ends. So if you're spinning, you can spin, and then near the ending of the spin animation, you can press Z and then A, and then you're guaranteed to get a first frame spin when you land, if you time it correctly. So I do that sometimes. You can also just not do that. You can just spin, press the A button, and then right when you land, you can press Z for spin again. So that's why I was pressing Z twice for one spin. Just trying to get a frame perfect spin. I'll maybe show it off right here. If you press Z, and then you can hold C down for the spin input. When I land, even though I didn't press Z, he did a spin anyways. And you can see it right there too, but that was really bad movement. See, I did it right there. You unfortunately have to get the Lucky Star, which grants you access to do action commands. This cutscene takes a long time. So probably in the description of this video I'm going to list a whole bunch of tutorials. So if you need help with a specific trick or anything, you can find the help there. So it's really important to say no to this tutorial. It's a long tutorial. I think it's like at least a minute, maybe a little bit less. So instead of like pressing down and then pressing A, you can just simply press B for those questions. For this fight, if you miss power jump action command, you can back it up with head bonk with Gombari's attack, but it's slow to attack with him. so try not to miss. Okay, so coming up is Black Toad Skip. If you don't do Black Toad Skip, you can talk to the Black Toads and then talk to Merlin in the house. Or the house with the spinning roof, and then you can talk to the Black Toads again. It's pretty slow. I think it waits like 30 seconds. Wow, I just got perfect Toad RNG. So that Toad's actually RNG. So I just passed by a red box. It has Dizzy Attack in it. If you do not know how to do cannonless, you can pick up that badge and unequip a badge. I think Power Bounce. You can unequip Power Bounce for Dizzy Attack, and you can use Dizzy Attack to get by the Bill Blasters in Chapter 8. Pretty much doing glitchless strats, so you don't have to do cannonless. You don't want to jump on that fuzzy with the shell because there's a cutscene attached, and you lose like at least 10 seconds, I think. See, I'm doing the movement where it's like, you press Z and then A, instead of pressing Z after you land. That's a thing that you can do, and it guarantees frame perfect spin inputs. Okay, so for this minigame, it's RNG where this shell will go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it started at the third tree, and it did 12 bounces. So it's guaranteed to be in either the first or the third tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that was an odd number. It's guaranteed to be in the tree to the left or the right from that point. 1, 2. So that was 9. So basically what I'm saying is keep count the number of bounces that it does. Even if you can't visually see where it went, you can at least make a guess if you know what number of bounces it was. Alright, here's the first bit of RNG besides Toad. It doesn't really matter much if this fails or if it works. It worked in this case. And if it does, you can mash A and B, because then it fades to black faster after the battle ends. You want to get HP plus because it's really good with the route that I'm doing today. There's a coin right here if you want to grab a backup. There's a few coins in these bushes too. You don't need to grab them, but I figured I'd show it off. If it doesn't run, then you can do just attack them with basic attacks, like jump and Cooper's shell toss, until they die. And the extra experience that they give doesn't matter. Also, there's a fire flower there that you need. You don't usually want to get first struck by that. Because it's slower. Whoops, I wasn't holding B. Always hold B, guys. So this is Power Bounce. It's going to be useful on Junior Troopa later. We're doing the first, I guess, major skip of the run besides Black Toad skip. You can come down here and just press left and then jump, and the chain will push you in a consistent position. From there, you can mess up the trick. From there, oh no. From there, you can just, follow the tutorial in the description for learning how to do that. I messed it up really bad, but what can you do? Also, after you hit that block, you don't want to do any inputs. You can actually move, or jump, or hammer, but it wastes time. So just hold nothing after you hit the block. Yeah, we don't need to hit the heart block, sorry. I'm too used to glitchless right now. So what you should have done is actually just talk to Bombette. You don't need to hit the heart block. I was going for it because I have muscle memory for glitchless at the moment. So, pardon me. So for this fight, you're just going to use the Fire Flower and then Body Slam. And then level up FP after. It's about even if you use Body Slam first there, instead of the Fire Flower first. You're not supposed to hit the heart block. I'm also, when I do PB attempts, I do Junior Troopa skip, so, we actually do hit the heart block there. in the risky route, which you don't need to worry about. So we're leaving chapter 1. We want to do log skip now, so that we can beat the game quickly. And again, you can get Dizzy Attack here if you do not want to do Canvas. So for log skip, there's going to be a tutorial in the description. So if like you're trying to learn it, that's the best way to learn it, is to watch a tutorial on it. Too much? Nope. So this is like a 20-second break that you get here. You don't have to input anything until the chapter screen like appears. And then once it does appear, you can mash Start and A. Okay, so we're gonna get 2 Wacky Bumps. They're both gonna be used on Junior Troopa in Chapter 8 during the fight. If you for some reason have gotten many encounters and do not have 50 coins by the time you leave the desert, you can pick up another Wacka, and then you can sell it at the shop. Also, if you are too nervous or can't do power bouncing on blooper, you can pick up another Wacka and use it on the blooper fight. You would use power jump instead of power bounce, and then you would heal in the fight with the Wacky Bump. Whoops. So that's like an option that you can do too. And another thing, if you're not worried about blocking the final Bowser wave, you can skip getting the Beach Repel Gel and pick up a third Wacka. And after the Junior Troopa fight is done, you can heal with that Wacka instead of healing with the Heart Block, and that's faster by a little bit. I won't be doing that today, but that is a thing that you can do that saves time. So now that we have Paracarry, we need to go back and get the seed for entering Chapter 6. And we already have 2 Wacky Bumps, so we don't need any more of those, unless you're doing one of the backups that I mentioned. There's a way to get this seed early, but it's pretty difficult. It's not common, or sorry, it's not uncommon for like some of the best runners of this game to lose their run to that trick. So for a beginner, it's not recommended to do that. It only saves like I think a minute also. Remember that you need to get 50 coins, so make sure to go down that slide. And make sure that you're at full stats so that you can fight Blooper without any issues. Okay, so during like this riding cutscene, it's the best to mash the A and the B button together. Pressing start will not do anything. So just mash A and B. Now that we have 50 coins and Chapter 2 is triggered, we can go to the Bad Shop and get Speedy Spin. After we get Speedy Spin, we're going to equip Power Bounce if we're doing the risky not Super Blooper. If we're doing the risky Blooper fight, where we Power Bounce. It's a 75% chance that it's here, by the way. In this case, I didn't get it. In this case, you have to go away 2 screens. It's fastest to go over here. And what this does is it reloads the shop so that new badges spawn. So we want to take off Power Jump and put on Speedy Spin and Power Bounce. If you're doing the safe blooper, you're going to leave Power Jump on, and then later equip Power Bounce. This is really hard on N64. What's up? This is not the best controller. I might need to switch my controller out. The neutral on this controller is like extremely horrible. And it doesn't help that the N64 also has no dead zone whatsoever. Anyway, moving on. That took a lot longer than it needed to, but in my defense, I'm mostly a Wii U runner at the moment. I haven't done runs of N64 in a while. Also, switch to Paracarry before you begin this fight. You need him no matter what fight you're doing. So if you're doing the power jump fight, dang, I suck. If you're using power jump, obviously power jump instead of power bounce. So what just happened there is I missed the power bounce. I missed it again, really? That's weird. Anyway, there's something in this game called power bounce capping. If you reach a certain point, in this case it's beyond 8, why do I keep missing on 8? What is going on? Anyway, the animation for getting capped is Mario is going to fly back really far. If you miss the power bounce, Mario drops down to the ground like you saw in those 3 examples. So, pretty much power bounce capping is like random and it's out of your control. And that's what the risky any percent route does on the final bosses. And that's why it's very risky, pretty much. Alright, my position is probably a little bit off. You can move. Oh no. Oh wow, I actually... Are you kidding me? This is a disaster. What is going on right now? So you can actually move for 1 frame during that Colorado talking cutscene. So you should usually just like hold right during it. And also, I should mention, I was not supposed to clip in bounds and grab that jam and jelly. You're supposed to get that jelly after you complete this chapter because it's faster. So just ignore that mistake. There's something here called first cycle. If your movement is really good, you can make... Wow. If my input was a little bit earlier, I would have made that cycle. But unfortunately, I'm really not playing well at the moment, so I didn't get it in this case. Usually this guy's not a problem if you make first cycle, but I messed up everything, so he was on a bad cycle. There's a jump that you can go for here. Usually just hold down and clip out of bounds like that. But there's a thing that you can do in the safe route where you get Fire Shield, and you can use it on Final Bowser if you're too nervous to block the attacks. So it's probably best for you to not worry about doing that jump until you get decent at the game. There's a hidden life stream here that you need. Interesting. I'm usually not playing this badly. There's a jump that you can do in this room that skips having to push this block, and it saves 5 seconds. Again, you probably shouldn't worry about it if you're new to this game. It's pretty difficult to get it, so... It switches to 2 frames after, or actually I think on the 6th bounce. I'm not 100% on this, but yeah, as you power bounce, the window for the action command gets tighter. you want to level up Hair Carrier. The reason is because we also want to upgrade Goombario so that we can have a safe Junior Troopa fight. And that's the closest super block that we can hit without going way out of the way. I recommend hitting these fire bars so that you can run right through these enemies. There's no reason to not hit the fire bars because even if you run into the enemies, you cannot encounter them. So just hit the fire bars. It doesn't waste any time. I just buffered my spin so that I guaranteed got a first frame spin when I landed. If you align this perfectly, you can get Flare Carry while skipping that cutscene. I missed it in this case. Usually it's faster to switch to Bombette here because it happens during the cutscene, as you just saw. And now we're going to skip Lava Piranha. There's a tutorial for that in the description if you don't know how to do it. And yeah, from this point, there's just a Peach cutscene that's coming up. Hey, what's up, Sonic? Good evening. So first thing you're gonna want to do is hit this switch twice. Alright, so in the next room, you can hold an angle directly towards the door. Even with perfect movement, you cannot get caught by that guard, so don't worry about it. In this room, you have to wait a little bit. Usually I like to wait until the edge of the light is touching a certain tile on the ground, and then I start moving. Hey, what's up, Toto? So for this quiz, you're going to answer the first 9 questions by just mashing the A button. And then on the 10th question, you're going to answer the second. During each of these questions, there's a number that appears on the screen. For example, right here, there's 6. It just zoomed on by the screen. That's how you can tell which question you're on. That one said 7. This one says 8. So yeah, first answer for all of them, and then on the last, second answer. And that's 10. The reason we want to fail this quiz is so that we avoid wasting time. If you win the quiz, you get a Jamma Jelly. And it doesn't do anything for us because it doesn't go to Mario unless you use the chest, and it takes minutes to get it, pretty much. Okay, so usually you grab the jam and jelly right now behind the tree, but I accidentally grabbed it earlier because I messed up raft skip. So just remember to get the jelly, always. You will definitely need it. If you do happen to miss it, there's one in Chapter 8 that you can grab, but it's faster to get the one behind the tree. So you need this to give to Colorado so that he can give you the seed. Okay, so for avoiding the Dark Koopas, when I enter the room, I hold down right and then I jump upward. And that guarantees the Dark Koopa to come at you. Like that. And then for this one, I spin to the left and spin down right after. The room is guaranteed if you do the movement that I do, pretty much. Like, you will never encounter the enemies if you do what I do there. I've tested it extensively, and what I do is will work every single time. What the? So we're on our way to get the 4th seed to enter Chapter 6. So for the forest, just follow the route. Go right twice, enter loading zone, go left once. Go left once again. And then we go left until we get the seed. And then after that we go right once so that we can warp to the entrance of the forest. Wow. You can, like, hold up rightish and talk to the Tote and save some frames, but I messed up. I didn't talk to Mincy by accident. Okay, so there are 3 different methods of early lackluster. There's the fastest where you do loading zone storage jumps. There's the second fastest where you clip into the tree and go out of bounds. And then there's the third fastest, which is significantly easier than the other 2 methods. The third method is when you push this NPC with Bombette. You're going to push it downward. Right as soon as Mario and Bombette make contact. Now, that's when you're going to press down and spin. And I recommend standing right up against the plant, so that right when Bombette touches you, you can just press down and spin at the same time. Another thing that you have to watch out for is something called momentum spinning. Like, if you press the momentum, or the direction button and spin button on the same frame, you get this. So hold the direction that you're spinning in at all times. Otherwise your momentum might be cancelled by that glitch. So just hold down while you're spinning, and it's guaranteed to push. So now that we have enough pushes, actually I might need one more. You need to do around 15 pushes to get out of bounds here. It's so close to working. Okay, now that we're out of bounds... wow. Now that we're out of bounds, just follow the tutorial that I have in the description to learn how to do that, pretty much. You have to switch to paracarry before the fight begins. If you don't, you can still win, but just do it. Just switch to paracarry before. Because if you ever decide to do the risky route, it is absolutely mandatory that you have paracarry out. Otherwise you're gonna die. So you need to block 2 out of the 4 attacks that are in this fight. If you fail to do that, you're gonna die and lose a life stream. So something that you can do on this turn is you can do your jump now. And that would save, like... Actually, I think I have this mixed up. Actually, no I don't. Okay. Yeah, you can, the route says it. You can do jump on turn 3. Instead of turn 4. This is turn 4. And that saves, like, a few frames. But it's not really a big deal if you're a beginner. And you want to end the fight with Starstorm because it's faster by like a second or something. The reason is because when Wacky's dying right now, it's shared with the cutscene of the Star Spirit flying away. So I'll probably post a video of that in the description as well, just as a proof that it's faster. So for this room, you can do that movement that I just did, or you can ride Lackey on the bottom part, on the spikes, and that avoids the encounters. Or the encounter with the Bazap. So coming up, you actually do have the option to get the Ultra Boots early, but... And it does save time, but it's risky because you only have 3 HP at the moment. And if you get first struck by anything, you lose your life stream and you die. So it's not worth it unless you're going for the world record, for example. Like, there's no reason to do it unless you're going for world record. So it's like... I thought I'd just mention it just because... And also, the movement that I do there for the Dark Hoop also works every single time. So... It's not like an RNG thing, it's always the same. They do have RNG, like they spawn in different places and they move differently every time. But with the movement that I do, it avoids it every time, so... I usually go to the top of the of that room because the loading zone, it's actually closer. Further up like the further up you are. So the first clip here is not super precise. Like, you can be further to the left than normal and it will still work. But for the second one, it's actually pretty precise. And you need to be pretty far into the right in order for it to work. So, like, watch out for that. Alright, so I timed this next part with TAS. It's fastest to just hold up when you're going to hit the switch. You may think that holding upright is quick, but like, you may think holding upright's fast because Peach turns around, but I timed it. It's slower to do that, so just hold up during that part, and you'll go fast every time. For this part, you can either transform right here by pressing B, or you can go to the top, and on this third pillar, on the mark on the wall right here, there's 1, 2, 3. When you're at the third one, that's when you press B. Usually it's good to transform during the that unlocking animation. I think it saves a small amount of time because you have to wait for the door to unlock. So if you're like untransforming while that's occurring, I think it saves a little bit of time. I like to go to the top part of this room rather than the bottom because the door is kind of like slanted. So it's like, it's closer the further up you are. So I think that might save some time. Like, we're talking a few frames, so it's really not a big deal if you do it or not. But that's just something that I like to do. I think Lackey fights you because he's like one of Huff's underlings or something. One of his servants. or guards. But he had a change of heart or something. I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so, you need to get super jump charge. It's too good to not get. It does take a minute to get, but the big problem is Junior Troopa, really. Like, if you do more than if you lower his health by more than 20, he begins his transformations, and then it just becomes a mess. So it's better to just kill him all in one blow, rather than having him transform and stuff. So, also it's quicker to load this loading zone, because then the cloud is on quicker cycle. And then if you have the Ultra Boots, you can get this badge quicker, but I skipped it. Because again, you don't really need that 1 second time save unless you're going for like a world record or something. Like it's a pretty big risk for 1 second, so I really wouldn't worry about it. Alright, now we're doing the sewers. We need to get the Ultra Boots because they give us more power, and they allow us to do the easy version of basement skip. The movement that I do basically is consistent. Like, the enemies will never hit you as long as you don't mess up. So I usually hold down left here and then spin cancel. And then I go right, spin down, and then lure this guy, loop around, hammer cancel there. That looked like I almost got first struck there, but usually that's not an issue. If you delay your spin too long, it's an issue. But if you have quick movement, then it's not really an issue. Alright, so for this life shroom, I like to lure the right Dark Koopa to the right here. Wow. Oh my god. I guess the easiest way to explain how to do the sewers is like look at my PB videos and just mimic the movement. Like, I can't see it getting much better than that, than what I do in my PB runs. And I think the reason I got hit there was because the dead zone on N64 is really bad. Like, I was walking. I was holding right and I was walking. So... rip. Wow. So for this, I like to do a spin buffer, so that when I land, I get a frame perfect spin. Alright, that was an example of like the quickest cycle that you can do, pretty much. Unless you have like task-like movement. But yeah, that was really good. So same thing as last time, just do a Peach Warp. I think the best way to learn how to do Peach Warp is like watch tutorials on it and then like practice it a lot. Practice it until you do not fail it, pretty much. Or do it quickly enough. So nothing going on during this Peach cutscene. Alright, first thing that you're going to want to do is get the shooting star on the pillar. We need it for Final Bowser because it's the only way to deal 6 damage in Mario's turn at the specific moment that we need it. If we do like even a single point more of damage, Bowser will heal. So it's very important that we grab this. Whoops. And then we upgrade Goombario because Junior Troopa becomes easier to kill with this route. Pretty much the reason we use Goombario instead of Paracarry for the Junior Troopa fight is so that Mario can use the FP instead of Paracarry using the FP. If you lose Life Shrooms, there's an Ultra Shroom here and it sells for like 50 coins, I think. So you can go to a shop, sell that, and then buy a Life Shroom. You need the Repel Gel that's over here. You know, I actually forgot to get the Beach Repel Gel. Man, I should probably go back and get that. The chances are I'm not going to need it. You won't need the Beach Repel Gel as long as you can block Final Bowser. The wave attack with a partner. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the Repel Gel. I was supposed to grab it after Chapter 5 was completed, but I completely forgot about it for some reason. So, small detour. So a good visual for this is that the Repel Gel is like to the right of the Bell Plant. Right there. It's going pretty well. Thank you for the good luck. So the strat for avoiding these enemies is make them notice you and then spin to the left so they stop noticing you and then spin around them. Like that. Their spawn location is random, so you kind of have to like react to where it is. Oh, wow. I'm surprised he didn't unnotice me from that. If you need to buy a life shroom, there's a shop right over here. There's a life shroom in that shop, and it costs 25 coins for a life shroom. You shouldn't need to buy one unless you lose a life shroom. The most likely place to lose a life shroom in a run is probably like either on Lackluster or after him, because you're running around at 3 HP and like pretty much everything can kill you in one hit. So, but yeah, other than that, I don't really think there's too many places where you can lose your life shroom. Whoops. I actually did the wrong movement there. So yeah, use Power Walk and then Power Bomb. The direction the key spawns in is random. It can go to the left or to the right. You want to say yes to that, otherwise he won't. He's not going to drop you down. You're going to have to talk to him again and say yes. So the life shroom can go either to the left or to the right. And usually it's good to throw Bombette down like that before you go for it. If it does spawn to the left, you can go right here and use your boots to actually collect it. So that's a thing that you can do if that happens. It's really rare for it to go to the left. And also, the direction that you face while using the super or the Ultra Boots matters. You want to face to the right if you want the live stream to go to the right. And the opposite is true as well. Like, if you face the left, it's going to go to the left. So when you're on the crate, face to the right, and it's going to go to the right most of the time. For some reason, there's like a 5% chance that the item will go to the left even though you're facing to the right. No idea why it happens, but that's a thing. So usually it's good to switch to paracarry while you're up against that ledge so that you get a little cancel. And then you want to stand right around here and just use paracarry. I want to say no more than 5 minutes. Well, actually, it depends. Because there are things that you can route into this that, for example, doing really lackluster with LCS jumps. Like, you can do that, and it doesn't change the route. So it's hard to say. But I will say that you can very easily get sub 150 with this route. Probably. If you're good at the game and know what you're doing. So there's two different strats that you can do for the flood room here. In the description of this video, there's going to be a tutorial on the two separate methods. Wow. Alright, so since I'm doing the safer version of the safe route, or the more beginner-friendly, I'm going to encounter 6 bullet bills instead of 3. That will give me 2 level ups instead of 3. Or sorry, 2 level ups instead of 1. You don't want that. You don't want that item. So this is 2. This is 3. So halfway there, if you were doing the faster version of this route, of the safe route, you would do Candleless now. And we want to level BP here. This is going to be the 5th fight. We need to do 2 more fights to put us back at the correct amount of star points. We want to level up at the Double Ghosts and at Hallway Bowser. So that's what these 2 extra fights are for. And now that we have all the experience points that we want, we can do Canonless. After you get out of bounds, just tap up right twice. Yeah. This dry bones is like RNG. And okay then. I got unlucky there. Now I'm gonna have to hit the heart block if I want to play it safe. Because if the 4 Duplo Ghosts attack me, it's gonna deal 12 damage. So hitting the heart block is probably a good idea, because you want to keep your life shrooms. The fastest heart block to hit is right before the Duplo Ghosts. But if you're really low in health, there's one right there that I just passed. I'm not going to hit the heart block because I'm at 12. Even if I get first struck by 2 more enemies, I'm fine. So no reason to hit it there. Especially because you run the risk of getting another encounter, and then in that case you're going to have to hit the heart block again. So these quiz answers are always the same. And it's a good thing that they are, because if this was randomized, it'd be pretty annoying. Yeah, if they randomize these questions, then I'd have to learn how to read Japanese, pretty much. Or just memorize characters, which would not be fun. Okay, so if you missed the Jam and Jelly in Chapter 5, there's one on the staircase that's coming up. There's one right there at the corner, the bottom right corner. So you can just hold right for this room, and you'll be pushed upward by the fence. You don't have to, like, jump to upright at all. You can just literally hold right, and you'll go to the correct positioning. Alright. I'm gonna equip HP Plus now, we're gonna equip HP Plus and then hit the heart block. We need, we don't need 20 HP for Blooper, but since this is the safer version of the beginner safe route, we'll want to hit that heart block. Or sorry, we're hitting the heart block because we got dry boned, and if the duplicates do 4 attack, then I die. We don't want that to happen. But yeah, we need HP Plus on because then we don't have to block anything on Junior Troopa. So Power Shell and then switch to Bombette. You should block these attacks that they throw. The reason that we want them to transform into Bombette is so that they blow up like that. And for those that don't blow up, we're just gonna use Starstorm. And then after this fight, we're gonna level up BP. And then equip Super Jump Charge. Also, you need Goombario. So now that we have Super Jump Charge and Power Bounce, we can do mega damage to Junior Troopa. And also, if you did the safer Blooper strat, you would unequip Power Jump and put Power Bounce on. So this fight is the major difference between the safer version of the route and the less safe version. For example, if I miss a block here, it doesn't matter. But in the other route, if I do miss the block, I actually die. So and when it says after you charge and there's a text box, you should mash A and B, because then it clears it quickly. Oh no, I got 3 capped. That wasn't actually a cap, but if you do get 3 capped, you still win, so that's the beauty of the safe route. Thank you guys for the raid. So now you're going to go back and hit the heart block because we don't have anything to heal with. And the reason we don't have anything to heal with is because we got the Chapter 5 Beach Repel Gel. If we skipped that, we could get a Wacka, but it's not really a big difference, so... Okay, and actually, you know what, I'm going to save here. We're going to need Paracarry for Hollow Bowser, and we also need to go to the library. It's faster to menu up to 2 there, obviously. We need to go to the library to get Power Rush. I do think that this life stream is optional, but I'm gonna grab it because there's no reason not to grab it. It's right here. And if you do miss the wave block, you may actually need that life stream to win the fight. And another thing that you have to do here is actually take off HP plus. So you're gonna put, right now I'm at 20 HP, right? So what you can do to take off HP plus is take it off, go back twice, and then put it back on, and that actually reduces your health without you pausing the game, or unpausing the game, and then pausing again. So, do I have Power Rush on? Okay, I do. I just wanted to make sure because I was too busy talking during that part to notice, I guess. Okay, so the first 3 turns you're gonna do Skydive with Paracarry because it manipulates the formula of Bowser healing. You want to do little damage at first, and then when he's close to death, that's when you're gonna release all of your energy or whatever. So 3 Skydives at first. And by the way, you need to attack everything he throws. If you don't, then you're gonna die. Okay, so he's always scripted to do Star Shield on this turn. So you're gonna Star Beam next turn and then Skydive. He'll be at 30 HP. And then on turn 4, he can use his Star Shield again. Pretty much during this part, you have to look at the route and do what it says. That's all it takes. And of course, block every attack. So jump times 2. We're now in danger no matter what he threw. And now we're in a shell shot. Okay, that's when he does Star Shield sometimes. Since he didn't Star Shield, I'm gonna do nothing with Mario and then shell shot. The reason we do nothing with Mario is because if I attack with him now, he will heal. He's going to heal if I attack with Mario. Okay, so Starbeam, and we have to do nothing with Paracarry. If we do any more damage than we have right now, he's going to heal. So do nothing with Paracarry, and then next turn, that's when we unleash the attacks. And then he'll die. Ooh, that's bad. Okay. So, this is why you Starstorm here. You can, if you got Fire, Claw, Butt Stomp, any of those, you could have done a jump times 2 instead of the Starstorm. Also, if you missed the wave block, I believe it would have been fine. You could have done Hammer and then Starstorm, and you would win like that. Like, that would be enough damage to win. So might as well save. I don't see any reason not to save. Okay, so there is something worthy of a mention here. If you are too nervous to block all of the fire attacks, you can take off Power Bounce for Fire Shield. Or Super Jump Charge even. Actually, I need to do an equip here. I need Power Jump. And that's all I need. If you're too nervous, you can equip this. I'm not going to do it. Even though I can. So yeah, actually there's always an equip there. You need to put Power Jump on. So during this part you have to do everything that the route says and do not question it. If you do any more damage than what is dealt, he's gonna heal. So just do what the route says. For Shell Shot on Final Bowser, you cannot miss the attack, so you should just flick the stick so that you instantly shoot it. So Twink Fight is scripted. All you have to do is mash A and hold B. Okay, so I should mention the next phase of Final Bowser is very randomness. Like there's a lot of randomness. When Bowser uses the Star Shield attack, is like that's going to determine what fight you do. So you have to like pay attention to the route. During this part, you can't just do whatever you want, because if you do, he's gonna win. You have to do exactly what the route says here. This route just like very barely works. Like I mentioned earlier, if we do one more damage than we do, he's gonna heal. So this is like very, what's the word? It's very exact. So you have to do everything the route says, and you can't question it. If you do, you're gonna lose. So take your time on each turn to know exactly what needs to be done. There's no real reason to rush. What's more important is that you actually finish the fight. So yeah, you need to block every attack that's thrown. If you have Fire Shield on, you don't need to block fire, but if you don't have it on, you do. The scariest attacks are the lightning attack. You do need to block that no matter what. And the wave. Actually, he's probably most definitely going to throw the wave at you. If you miss it, you can still come back. But only if you have the Repel Gel from Chapter 5's Beach. So. And if he gives you Claw on the first or second turn, do not block it. The reason for that is, on turn 3, we need to be in danger so that we get the +2 from Mega Rush or Power Rush. If we block Claw and Butt Stomp together, we will not be in danger. So, yeah. Don't block it. Don't worry about it. Actually, am I dead? I think I'm gonna have 1 HP on the next turn if he gives fire. Okay, well, I think we're fine. Okay, jump times 2. This is why don't block claw. We need to be in danger on this turn to do that. This is the earliest turn he can use Star Shield. He didn't do it. So, that would have been turn 3 Star Shield, but since he didn't do it, this is going to be turn 4 if he throws it, or uses it on this turn. Wow. Okay, this is the most common turn that he uses Star Shield. Right after he Star Shields, your next move is to Peach Beam. You need Parakarry to be dealing damage every turn. Next turn we're going to heal our FP. That's not usually where the Jamma Jelly is. I picked it up at the wrong time during this run. Okay, so now that we've died, we're going to use the Shooting Star. And then Shell Shot again. He's going to be exactly at 25 HP. Hopefully he attacks us this turn. Okay, I didn't make the block. What can I do now? Okay, so at the bottom of the route there's a backup for failing this. Failing the wave block. What you do is you Repel Gel. Parakarry's dead for 3 turns. You're going to want to Peach Beam as soon as he uses the Star Shield, always. And then after this turn, because my Repel Gel is now gone, after this turn is done, I'm going to have to use the Repel Gel again. And that's going to keep me alive. And he's very likely going to throw the wave again, but we'll see what happens. The good thing about having the Repel Gel on when he throws the wave is that it actually increases the frame window of blocking the attack. I'm actually pretty sure I'm dead because I was supposed to do a jump times 2 there and then a Shell Shot. He's got 15 HP. He's gonna kill me now. That leaves me with 11. Okay, I think I'm fine. As long as I block the wave. Okay. I'm pretty sure he is at 11 HP at the moment. Actually, no. I think I'm dead. I can't do math right now. If this doesn't kill, then he's gonna heal. So. And if he heals, it's over, so. Okay, he is dead. That was the worst example of Final Bowser ever. But pretty much just follow what the route says. You'll win. As long as you hit every action command. So. I set a very poor example of that in this run, but we still got sub 2 hours, even though the run was not very good. Yeah, that's a good example of, even though I failed, it's still winnable. Sorry for the scare, but we finished. had I blocked the wave on the turn that he threw it, everything would have been fine. Like, you could have just looked at the route and saw the standard fight. And that's what would have happened, but in this case I failed to do that, so... So yeah, sub 2 hours with the safe route. Pretty comfy. Yes, exactly. Holloway and Final Bowser. You cannot lose to them unless you fail blocks. I'm pretty sure. There may be some strange variation where, like, he doesn't use Star Shield at all. And then in that case, like, you are probably not going to win. But the chances of that are, like, pretty much 0%. Like, it is technically possible, but you will probably not see that. So... So yeah. It would be, actually, yeah. I should have done this for SGDQ, but, like... I don't know. I was too concerned about it varying too much from, like, what we actually do. So yeah, I'm really glad that this route exists. Even though I failed the wave block, I still won. Like, that's really comfy. But the only problem with that is you need the beach repel gel, and that's pretty slow to get. So if you're like trying to go quick, that's a problem, but if you're just trying to finish a run, then it's not. So that's really cool. So there's something called Luigi Skip. If you hold down when Mario jumps on the pipe, you can skip Luigi. And we also have Speed Spin on. So all you have to do now is just go to the castle. And then the timer stops when Peach raises her arms up in the air. So yeah, that is going to be the tutorial video. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. So yeah, I mean, I guess if you guys want to say goodbye, YouTube, now's your chance. Alright, I'm ending the video. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.